Ask and you shall receive. Here we go. So Cabin in the Woods opens and we meet like these three people in like a laboratory of some kind. And fun fact, this was purposely planned to make the audience think that they were watching the wrong movie. So then we jump to like a different location and we meet like our main five here. So we have Kurt, we have Holden, we have Jules, we have Marty, who's my personal favorite, and we have Dana. And we learn that they are all gonna go like blow off some steam at a cabin in the woods for the weekend. And then we jump to these three and we can see that they are watching like our main group of five on computer monitors and they don't know about it. The five doesn't know. So we get the sense that like this is connected somehow. So on the way to the cabin, our main group stops to get gas, but like the attendant is like just super fucking creepy right off the rip. And he's like saying these really cryptic shit. He calls Jules a fucking whore. And like there's almost a fight between him and Kurt, but then Holden breaks it up and they just kind of continue on their way. But not before this dude here says, you have enough gas to get there, but not enough to get back. And they kind of just brush it off like nothing. And now we see our main group like drive through this rock tunnel in their RV. And we also see like a bird kind of like swoop down and like almost follow them. But then the bird crashes into like an invisible force field and it just dies. Think like the Hunger Games. And then we get like another flash to this dude here and he's talking on the phone to the scientists in the lab. And he's like, oh yeah, don't worry, they're on their way. Again, super fucking cryptic. So periodically, like while our main team unpacks all their stuff at the cabin, we can see that these guys are of course watching them through the computer monitors. And then we see these guys start to like place like these random bets on like each person that's up at the cabin. This guy here specifically says like, I really want to be a fucking merman. Meanwhile, at the cabin, they're starting to have like a party and they start playing Truth or Dare when suddenly the basement door flies open on its own. And Jules dares Dana to go down the basement stairs, like this dark, creepy ass basement. And when they're down there, they find all like this creepy old shit, including this like really fucked up book, which Dana opens and starts to read from. And Marty's like the only logical one here. He's like, don't read from the fucking book. He's also hearing random shit, but they all kind of just fucking ignore him. And as soon as Dana reads from the book, it's like in fucking Latin, by the way, zombies literally erupt from the ground and start going towards the cabin. Now we see these guys celebrating because someone picked like redneck zombie family, so they won the poll. This guy is still pissed off it's not the merman because that's what he bet on. Now back at the cabin, we see everyone except for Marty, that's important, acting super fucking weird, especially Kurt and Jules. To the point where like Kurt and Jules, who are a couple by the way, run off into the woods and just start going at it. And the whole time these guys are watching them on the screen like perverts. We also see like these guys pump something into the air, but we don't know what the fuck it is. And then suddenly the zombies show up around Kurt and Jules and just fucking attack them. After a brief little fight, they drag Julia away with like this bear trap conception, but Kurt manages to get away and runs back to the cabin to warn the others. Now after Jules dies, we see one of these guys pull like a lever that like releases her blood into like this weird ass carving on a wall, but we don't see the carving. So Marty hears another voice in his head and he goes outside and he sees Kurt like running towards him. He also sees a zombie, but they fight the zombie off and they run inside. Now Marty seems to be like the only one who's actually fucking aware of all this shit that's kind of like really kind of like happening, like the voices in his head. While everyone else is kind of like in a daze and no one, like the scientists don't know why. Meanwhile, these guys are barricading the cabin, but they get locked in their rooms. Now Marty gets freaked out and he accidentally knocks over a lamp. But then he's able to find one of the fucking cameras that was in his fucking room. So he kind of starts to like figure out, like, what the fuck, we're actually on TV right now. But before he can do anything, a zombie crashes through the window, grabs him, and brings him away. R.I.P. Marty. I fucking love you. You're taken too soon. This is my favorite fucking part here. Now, the scientists figure out that Marty was conscious during all of this because he's actually a stoner and the drugs in his system were fighting off the chemicals that they were pumping into the air. So it wasn't working on him, and I love that. Meanwhile, Dana, Holden, and Kurt all run into the basement because they really don't have anywhere else to go. And Holden is attacked, but Dana, like, fucking stabs the shit out of a zombie and she is able to rescue him. So the three of them jump into the RV and then they go back the way they came to try and get out of there. But then these fuckers blow up that rock tunnel so they can't get anywhere because there's like this big ass fucking gorge and there's no way out. Now Kurt here decides that he's going to try and jump across the gorge on his motorcycle and bring back help. Did you forget about that weird ass force field though? Because Kurt makes the jump and he smashes into the force field and he is offed. So Dana and Holden get back into the RV and attempt to drive back towards the cabin, just like drive anywhere. And then suddenly Holden is attacked by a zombie and he is off. This causes the RV to smash into the water at the bottom of the gorge, but Dana is able to like open one of the doors and swim up out of there. Let me remind you that after each of their deaths, some of their blood goes into one of those weird ass carvings on the wall. We still don't see what the carvings are. Now, Dana is able to swim over to the dock near the cabin, and she's able to get up on the dock, but as soon as she does, a zombie appears and starts beating the shit out of her. Meanwhile, we see these guys celebrating because apparently the Virgin, as they call Dana, doesn't have to die, so they've kind of pretty much just done their job. Meanwhile, Dana is still getting like viciously attacked by a zombie on the dock when suddenly someone takes out the zombie from behind. And it turns out it's fucking Marty. He is still alive and kicking. He does not go down easy. And holy shit, I was so happy when I saw this. And Marty drags Dana over to like one of the zombies' graves where he reveals that he found like a secret elevator like hidden in there. So he drags Dana down that. And that elevator takes them down to the scientist's laboratory. And down there, Dana and Marty see everything that could have killed them. It's like there's monsters, there's ghosts, there's everything else. Meanwhile, the scientists see this like happening on the monitors and like, oh shit, we're not done. So they have to go track them down. Then some armed guards run up to Dana and Marty and they start firing at them. So Dana and Marty go and hide in like this control room. And on the control panel, Dana spots the purge button. So Dana looks at Marty, he nods, and she fucking pushes the big red button, which causes all the fucking monsters in this place to be unleashed upon all these armed guards and the scientists. Now, this is a little bit funny because, like, in the control room, these three are being attacked, and then this guy, mind you, like, through the whole movie, he was complaining, like, I don't get to see a fucking merman, I don't get to see a fucking merman. And then he is killed by a fucking merman. Karma, bitch. And then Marty and Dana meet the director, like, basically the woman who's in charge of all this. And she explains that this is all part of a fucked up ritual to stop an evil god from arising and killing everyone on the planet. And they do it every year. And they also see, like, all these stone outlines with their blood in it. So, like, that's where their blood had been going when they pulled those levers earlier. And the director explains that, like, they're all supposed to be from, like, a different class. So, like, the whore, the fool, the athlete, the scholar, and the virgin, like, they're all supposed to be sacrificed. But the exception, of course, is that, like, the virgin can live as long as everyone else dies, and Dana is the virgin in this. So now the director tries to get Dana to kill Marty, which she almost does. But then a werewolf attacks all three of them, and a fight ensues between Marty and the director. However, the director is soon offed by a little zombie girl that we had seen earlier in the movie. The little zombie girl, by the way, carries an axe. So fucked up. And Marty does a smart horror movie ending where he makes sure that both the director and the zombie girl are dead by kicking them off the cliffs into, like, the abyss below. And then Marty and Dana have a talk and they realize that mankind really isn't worth saving, so they both sit and share a joint as the world ends. And the last thing we see is like a giant fucking devilish hand reaching towards the sky and the movie ends. Alright, horror heads, don't forget to leave a like and a comment on other movies you want me to do because, as you know now, ask and you shall receive.